Does God push us away in disgust when we sin? Today we're going to think about that as we look at Genesis chapter 4, verses 14 through 17. Behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. Then the Lord said to him, Not so. If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should attack him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. When he built a city, he called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Cain had committed a grievous wrong. Cain had, along with his brother Abel, had brought a sacrifice to the Lord, but Cain's sacrifice was not accepted by God. Abel's was. Instead of working to reconcile that problem, instead of trying to seek a way of acceptance by God, what could I do to make this sacrifice more pleasing to you, God? Instead of that sort of approach, he just got angry and he killed his brother. God then pronounced a verdict on him. Again, Cain reacted and rejected God. God said that he was going to be a wanderer. He said that the earth was no longer going to accept his working it. In other words, Cain was a tiller of the ground, but now he'd spilled Abel's blood in the ground, and so he'd sort of lost that, and he would be left to wander. And Cain reacted again, and he said, From your face I will be hidden. In other words, he's making a choice. He's saying, if you won't accept my sacrifice, if you won't let me dictate the terms of our relationship, then I don't want it. And so he decided that he would be a wanderer. He did not like the punishment. He did not like the verdict that God issued about his sin, but instead of dealing with it, he just became sullen. It's interesting for us to remember, and it's still so valid and so poignant for us to think about. When we sin, sin separates us. Sin separates us from God, but sin separates us from people. A lot of times the sin that we commit is something that drives a wedge between us and other people. But it certainly separates us from God. But the thing that we need to remember is we ultimately are not separated from the presence of God because God is everywhere. There's a psalm that says, where can I go away from your presence? If I go there, you're there. If I go over here, you're there. We can't get away from the presence of God, but we are separated from the goodness of God, and we are separated from the beneficial relationship with Him, a loving relationship. Sin does that. But God does not send us away in disgust. That's the way we would act. When someone wrongs us, we are very tempted to turn them away and say, you know what, I'm done with you. But God does not react that way. God so much doesn't react that way that He sent His only Son to die on a cross to make a way of forgiveness for us. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And if we will confess our sins and forsake our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If you find yourself separated from God, don't go farther away. Turn to Him. Call out to Him. Confess your sin. And you will find that God is ready, willing, able, and eager to join in new and renewed fellowship with you and forgiveness. We don't always find a complete reset of all our circumstances. Sometimes people are harder to win back over than God, but God is ready to forgive. And I encourage you today to look to Him and to draw closer to Him, not push away and move off in wandering. Well, God bless you. I will see you again next time.